Hi, this is Kenneth Corrigan here with another semi-knowledge production. Um, in this one, I will be presenting neural networks from Chapter 16, Section 8. It's very complicated, so get your notebooks ready. And here we go. So, artificial neural networks, they're also referred to ANNs, are used in an attempt to make computers learn in a similar way to humans. Um, they This is attempted by attempting to represent the neurons in the human brain and the electrical impulses that flow between them, called synapses. See what I'm talking about? The terminology. Alrighty, moving on. So, this is gone about by ANNs feature a series of inputs and outputs, each connected by one or more layers of nodes. Each of these nodes are connected to one another, and the importance is established by its weight. So each of the circles here are nodes, and each of the arrows between them, the arrows and lines between them, represent their weight. So in this example, although there are no words provided, such as in my last video where we had the moon and the cloud and the sky, and all the words were connected. There are no words here, but the weight between the different circles is shown through the strength or the thickness of each of the lines. Now, there's this hidden layer in the middle here, and this layer, this hidden node layer, takes inputs from several input nodes, as shown on the left, and uses a transfer function which determines the output. This is where the weight of the nodes comes into play, as the transfer function pays more attention to the nodes with higher weights. So, the hidden layer here, which performs the transfer function, would likely pay more attention to this middle input node because it has a higher weight carried, and thus would likely be more efficient with its transfer output, or with its transfer function, thus producing a better result, or a more human-like result, which is ultimately the goal. Alrighty, now a neural network needs training before it can be used effectively. During this learning phase, the neural network is given a series of inputs and calculates the output. This output is then compared to the expected output as determined by a human. Now, this expected output obviously could vary, possibly, but since they are trying to replicate human thought, the fact that this expected output is determined by a human is only fitting. Now, the difference between the ANN's output and the human output is referred to as the error. Once again, it's the error because the computer is trying to attain human thought, and once it doesn't, there's got to be error involved. Following is the process of backpropagation, which is the weights of some nodes in the ANN are adjusted until the transfer functions produce output more closely matched to the expected output, which is where the weight of the nodes comes into play. The neural network then uses this training to apply to real-world data. Alrighty. So applications of neural networks. Applications of neural networks include handwriting recognition software, which you may already be familiar with, data processing, and spam filtering, which you are definitely familiar with, although you may not even realize it. Now, it is fairly easy to understand the process behind the training of handwriting recognition software and spam filtering software when thinking about it. The training behind handwriting recognition software would just be constant repetition of words, letters, symbols, anything of the sort, in an attempt to produce either a typed response from the computer that matches the writing on the paper, or in this case, although it's not the ideal picture now that I look at it, it simply copies it. And for spam filtering, there are certain keywords or phrases or features of an email that might indicate that it is spam. Thus, that spam is filtered. Alrighty. Now, the future of neural network, to me, indicates that it can only become increasingly advanced, although I am of the opinion that the human brain will never be replicated by a computer in my lifetime or in those to come. So, there's pessimistic semi-knowledge coming at you. And moving on to sources, here they are. Congrats to all these geniuses for taking pictures and being smart. And song. Cue the song.